The great epic Ramayana exerts immense influence on the ethical, spiritual, and creative consciousness of the Indian people. The Ramayana has been retold in various forms and in different social locations. In Tamil tradition, the earliest references to Ramayana and Ayodhya can be found as metaphors in Sangam Tamil literature. Valmiki's Ramayana was the first extant work to explore the Ram's legend with a well-constructed, elaborate story. Sage Naradar narrates the story of Ram of the Ikshaku dynasty. Valmiki rendered the legend of Ram upholding the ideals of self-sacrifice, devotion to duty, and commitment to relationships, to present an example of an ideal life for humans to emulate. When the Bhakti movement began in the medieval period, Ram's godly qualities became much more emphasized because the prism is now devout. Every literary enterprise approaches Ram according to its own emotions and perceptions. The Alvars were the true pioneers of the Vaishnav Bhakti movement in Tamilagam. Vaishnavism was prevalent in Tamilagam from the 1st century until it reached its height around the 11th century. The Vaishnav saints, the Alvars, disseminated rapturous narrations of Ram's legend and his infinite grace. In Tamil, the most popular Ramayana is the one written by Kampar, based on Valmiki's work. Kampar presents Ram as an incarnation of Vishnu, as God, and as the Guru Mantra, the highest name, from the very beginning of his texts. Kampar retold the epic in about 6 chapters, approximately 10,000 verses. This work contributed not just to classical Tamil literature, but over time became inseparable from routine Hindu religious worship. In many Tamil households, the entire Ramavataram is recited in the Ati month of the Tamil calendar, typically between July and August. The earliest reference in Tamil to the legend of the Ramayana is found in the Sangam anthology, Purananuru. When a Tamil king had brilliant victories over his enemies, he gave the royal ornaments of those defeated kings to a poet, who in turn delivered them to his family. As his family people had never seen such ornaments, they started wearing them wrongly. Like the Vanaras who got the ornaments dropped by Sita when she was abducted, when they started to adorn themselves with the jewels, not knowing where to wear each jewel. Adananuru also has a reference to the Ramayana. A hero had left his village to pursue his career. His lover was awaiting his return. The villagers naturally started gossiping. Eventually, the hero returned, and when the lovers got united, all those gossipers fell silent. Like when Ram was planning the attack under this magnificent tree in Kodiakarai, and the birds residing in the tree were constantly chirping. At one point, Ram just looked up at them, signaling them to remain silent. And silent went the birds, just like how the gossipers became silent. In Tamil epic Silappatikaram, Ramayana runs as a subtle thread. It describes the fate of Pumpuhar suffering the same agony as experienced by Ayodhya when Ram leaves for exile to the forest, as instructed by his father. In the medieval period, the Alvars composed Nalayara Divya Prabandham, dedicated to all forms of Vishnu. References to Ram are abundant in Prabandham literature, most notably in the poetry of Kulasikhara Alvar, who dedicated his life to worshipping Ram. Raghuvamsa, the Sanskrit epic poem related to the Raghu dynasty and the legend of Ram, written by Kalidasa, describes the Pandyas as supreme lords of the south, with their capital at Urgapura. Epigraphic records retrieved from copper plates and inscriptions from the Pallava period attest to the continuing influence of the Ramayana in Tamil society. The Kasakudi plates of Pallava Emperor Nandivarman eulogize his predecessor Narsinghavarman as the victor who undermined even the great glory of the Valor of Ram, who triumphed over Lanka. The Kodhanda Rama Perumal temple consists of 5 epigraphs, assigned to Paranthaka Chola, dated in the 7th regnal year. The inscription quotes Ram as Ayodhya Perumal, the Lord of Ayodhya. Paranthaka Chola was called Shankaram Raghava because of his conquest of Sri Lanka. His son Aditya had the title Kodhanda Rama. Ramayana depictions as a series of narrative miniatures are observed in the Chola temples of the 10th century in the Kaveri Delta. Raghunatha, the most powerful ruler of the Tanjavur Nayaks, minted Ramayana series coins and constructed the Ramaswamy temple, one of the most prominent temple dedicated to Bhagavan Ram. This temple is credited as one of the Divyadesam and connected with the Mahamgam festival, which happens once every 12 years in Kumbakonam. Many temples in Tamil Nadu are associated with the legends of Ram. Panjaramar temples in and around Thiruvarur are dedicated to Ram and Vishnu. Rameshwaram is where Ravana's brother Vibhishana left Lanka and joined Ram in his battle of righteousness. Ram held Vibhishana's coronation in Rameshwaram and crowned him as the king of Lanka. According to Adhyatma Ramayana, Bhagavan Ram installed the lingam before the construction of the bridge to Lanka. The temple was sanctioned for construction by Raghunatha Sethupthi. Yalpanam King Jayavira Singayarya shipped stone blocks from Thirukonamalai to renovate the temple's sanctorum. Ramsetu, a stone bridge near Rameshwaram, believed to have been built by Bhagavan Ram with the help of Hanuman and Vanar Sena. The bridge is about 30 kilometers long and separates the Gulf of Mannar from the Palk Strait. The Tamil epic Manimekalai has several references to the Ramayana. It mentions Ram Setu being built by Vanarasena and credits Ram as the incarnate of Tirumal. One of the titles assumed by the Aryachakravarti kings of Yalpanam was Setu Kavalan, the protector of Ram Setu bridge. Setu was used in their coins as well as in inscriptions as a marker of the dynasty. The chieftains of Ramnad were also entrusted with the responsibility of protecting the Ram Setu bridge. Ramnad Sansthanam legend has it that Ram himself appointed a Sethupthi, the lord of the bridge, to guard Ram Setu on the way to the Lanka. The bridge was reportedly passable on foot up until the 15th century, when many storms deepened the channel. Rameshwaram temple records show that Ram Bridge was completely above sea level until a cyclone broke it around 1480. Kodhandaramaswamy temple, a 1,000-year-old historical structure in Dhanuskodi, survived another massive cyclone that happened in 1964. The art form of Ram legend, popularly called Ramayana Kuttu, has been practiced in temples since late medieval times. The art form's birthplace is Tanjavur, where it is known as Tholpavai Kuttu. The script of this Kuttu is based on the Kampar Ramayana, and the poems are written in Tamil and mixed with Sanskrit and Tamil. Arunachala Kavirayar penned the Ramayana as Ram Natakam in the 18th century. He wrote an opera out of the entire Ramayana, arranged as a collection of songs. His compositions are performed as Kirthanas of Ram Natakam. The Ramayana is neither a mere story nor an epic poem. Ram is both God and man. Adikavi Valmiki has inspired poets of this land to retell Ram's glorious life in their respective cultures and languages. Kampar sang the legend of Ram as of God coming down on earth to suffer, chasten, uplift, help, and guide men. From Sangam times, the legendary Ramayana is interwoven with Tamils and continues to unfold.